It's very dangerous for me.
For Fatima Barani, navigating the stairs can be hazardous.
I show you twice. I fell down twice, exactly from here.
The 33-year-old is visually impaired and can't see clearly.
Can you see the water, or do you want me to pour it?
It's difficult for me, and I touch everywhere. I check the door, or I check wall by touch my hand.
So you can only get around by feeling everything?
Yes, by feeling, by touching.
Barani is an asylum seeker from Iran, where she says she felt at risk because family members had been imprisoned for opposing the regime. Originally placed in a hotel, she was then moved to this shared house provided by Serco.
They gave me only 1 hour to sort everything, my things, my clothes or everything. I scared because they didn't tell me where they want to move me.
She's one of a number of asylum seekers with disabilities who feel they've been placed by the Home Office in unsuitable private accommodation while they wait for their claims to be processed.
I know government doesn't have enough place, enough house for asylum. This house is unsafe for me. No one listened to my voice, what I say.
Serco and other private companies have contracts to provide housing for asylum seekers worth hundreds of millions of pounds. But the decision on where to place individuals is made by the Home Office. And in 2020, the government was criticised by the High Court for failing to monitor these contracts.
The judge ruled against the Home Office argument that it's proportionate to treat disabled people differently in the interest of immigration control. But what's changed since that ruling? Well, there's pressure politically on the government to move asylum seekers out of hotels, but there's also pressure on social housing. So what does that mean for the most vulnerable?
Many of them are just being left. They're in terrible situations.
Deborah Ray is a support worker who says one of the problems is that the government doesn't keep a separate list of those with disabilities.
Disabled people come here and they fall under the Equality Act if they're disabled. Therefore, they should be looked after and they should be helped. The problem right now is that they can't be because the Home Office, so far as I know, has refused to have separate lists.
Sometimes I stay in this room maybe 10 days. I didn't go outside. I can't go outside.
Ala Mohammed is an amputee. He's been housed in this bedsit and relies on charities to help with things like shopping.
Hello.
Hi, Ala.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you? I'm fine, alhamdulillah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Mr. Mohammed says he fled Egypt because his family were targeted for their political activism. He suffered his injuries in a horrific accident trying to jump onto the back of a train from France to the UK.
When the train takes the fast, I fell down under the train. The wheels, the train cut my, this is the leg, and for the wheels they cut this and cut 4 finger and they open this is foot. Very bad. Make me cry like children. But alhamdulillah.
Undeterred, he eventually made it to the UK on a small boat. But that was 2 years ago, and he still hasn't had his asylum claim processed. The government's struggling with a backlog of around 140,000. Mr. Mohammed says he feels trapped in this property while he waits.
This is a room like prison here. Like a prison.
But the government here will say that they have so many people seeking asylum that they just don't have enough houses. They don't have enough suitable accommodation for everybody.
I understand, but I have disability. I have been here near 2 years. I thought the Home Office forget me.
In a statement, Serco said that their priority is always the safety and well-being of the asylum seekers in their care.
The Home Office told us they're committed to the safety of asylum seekers and that private companies are contractually obliged to ensure that accommodation is accessible for the disabled. Where concerns are identified, they work with providers to address them.
Fatima will be relocated to Warsaw, to a property Serco says will be more suitable to her needs. She hasn't yet been given a date for the move.